Everybody, welcome back for another episode of the Teal Corner Podcast. Kat, how you doing?
I'm good. How have you been?
I'm well. The NFL season is upon us. Week 1. No more waiting. It's the real
Ooh.
thing.
So excited.
So, yeah, the Jaguars played a real football game this week. I really couldn't be more excited. I've been waiting for so long, ever since that Kansas City game with the fumble late that I thought we were about to rally and pull off another
Yep.
freaking crazy comeback. It's
I
here.
really felt that too.
Yeah, I really thought it was happening again, especially with the Pat Mahomes injury limping around. Yeah, whatever. Let's not even get into that. Let's get into some
It's in
shine.
the past.
Yeah.
Don't
So
think about it.
yeah, seriously. Preseason is done, right? We got to look at the team, look at a lot of younger guys. How are you feeling about the preseason games and some of the growth?
Um, I try not to read too much into preseason games because, like there have been times where teams have won preseason games and then like done really bad in the regular season, but I don't think that's going to happen here, but I have to be like, it's preseason. But I think that the offense looked really, really good when the starters played. I think the defense overall is kind of a question mark. We'll just have to see how that one goes. But I think the offense looks really good. Like, I'm so excited to see this offense in action.
Yeah, no, I agree. Looking back on the preseason, I think the ones on both sides played well. Our defense didn't really get a whole lot of looks against starting caliber offenses. So, I mean, I guess they should look good, but I didn't see any like blatant, them getting cooked by some twos or anything crazy. So I
Yeah.
think they'll be, middle of the pack, maybe slightly below defense, depending on, Trayvon Walker and the steps they take. I think Trayvon had a solid preseason outings. The ball was coming out fast, but he showed some good rushes, showed some moves and some counters. The offense was humming outside of that, Trevor Lawrence miscue. Looked like
Yeah.
two guys were in the same area, whatever. Get that out in the preseason. I think that's probably more of a play call design issue if Calvin didn't run the wrong route, which Doug said he didn't, but I don't think you'll have two receivers running a route that intersects. So that's just
Yeah.
weird. Especially at the cross point at the end of the play. Like that's so yeah, weird concept. But yeah, no, I think the team looks good. Offense rolling, defense. We'll see when they get against some real competition, right? So I'm
Yeah.
gonna just hold my breath on that one.
Yeah. I think that if the offense is as good as I think they're going to be, I don't the defense doesn't have to be like this like powerhouse defense anyway. But we'll see. We will see.
So basically saying we just need to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Okay, got
Yes.
it. Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Got it. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
I totally agree there.
Sorry.
And yeah,
My
the
cat.
53-man roster is out. So we
It
know
is,
the
yeah.
team. How do you feel about the roster? Anything that caught you off guard? How you feel about it overall?
There wasn't really anything that like super surprised me. I guess the biggest thing was how many wide receivers we ended up keeping. We kept what, seven wide
Yep.
receivers. So I was happy to
Mm-hmm.
see that we kept Tim Jones, Parker Washington, and Elijah Cooks because I liked all
Yeah.
of them. And then Seth Williams is on the practice squad. So
Mm-hmm.
that's cool as well. I was kind of surprised that Nathan Rourke was put on the practice squad and not on the team, but I mean, at the same time, I'm not because CJ Beathard and Trevor Lawrence have a relationship. So it makes
Yeah.
sense, not to do that, to like screw that dynamic up.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But other than that, the defense, for the most part, everyone on the defense I was expecting to be there. So the biggest thing for me is probably the wide receivers, how many they kept.
Okay. Yeah, no, I feel pretty good about the 53. I think it's one of the best that I can remember in a very long time. 2017 53 was pretty good, but it didn't have a lot of depth to it. I think now we have guys that can actually play, behind some of these starters. So it'll be nice to see how some of the rotation works in at some of these spots. But yeah, on offense, really no surprises. I thought Garrett Prince was going to make the team.
Yeah.
He ended up getting released, opted not to sign back in Jacksonville. and went to Kansas City to go be a practice squad tight end for them. Knowing that they're a little thin at depth pieces behind Kelsey. So we'll see how that goes. He's a little knocked up too. So
Yeah, he's got the
Garrett Prince may
knee.
get some elevation there. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, 7 wide receivers caught me off guard too. There was, Josina Anderson reporting right before the 53 deadline that Parker Washington could be getting shopped around, right? We heard Trent Baalke speak on it. He said he did take some calls, right? He never put him on the trade block. He said he never received the offer that, moved the needle for him. So they like Parker Washington. Glad they kept him around.
Same.
Right. Right now, he's listed as the third string slot receiver. So he's probably not even going to be active on game days, anyways. But, I think he's a guy for the future, right? I don't think he's a this year, pick. I think that's a guy you stash away, 6th-round pick, right? Let him learn from Kirk, let him learn from Agnew. Maybe that can be like a backup contributor, slot receiver in 2-3 years from now, right? Just keep developing them.
Definitely.
For running backs, I figured they would go 4, but I think it was preseason was kind of showing more of a trio, right?
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
was like Hasty was just getting whatever scraps was left on the table, right? It's like,
That's
let's get
true.
ETN going, let's get Tank going, and then let's give slow grind some opportunity, right? The Ernest Johnson, a late free agency signing, he's been balling. So I think
Yes.
after that, it really was just like, well, Hasty, you're good on special teams, and we seen you, score some touchdowns last year, so we'll keep you around. You can catch the ball out of the backfield, so I guess. But I'm glad Snoop Connor's, to the practice squad. I think that room is better this year for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree.
And then defensively, really no surprises. Chris Claybrooks placed on the commissioner's exemption list, right, for all the legal issues that he have currently pending. A little bit surprising, right? Didn't know that was coming down. I think he was going to make this 53. They love him on special teams. Guy can really run too, so I think he's one of those guys you just let kind of use his athleticism. Worst case scenario if corners go down. I think he was like a last worst case scenario type of guy, special team. So he was
Yeah.
surprising. Ventrell to IR with Achilles injury in the last freaking preseason game. How terrible, right?
Yeah.
All preseason, we saw this guy like not on the field, working off to the side with trainers, trying to get back in there, trying to get in the groove, and freaking Achilles injury to end the season. That's crazy.
That
So
sucks.
Shaq Griffin making it was kind of a surprise for me. I thought that was going to be Ventrell, but even behind him, they kept Caleb Johnson, core special teams guy. So I mean, that's pretty cool.
You
Congrats
mean
to him on the opportunity.
Shaq Quarterman, right?
Yeah, Shaq Quarterman. Did I say Shaq Griffin?
You did.
Yeah, I've been talking trash about him on Twitter for like 2 days straight, so I think he's probably on
I
my
was like,
subconscious right
wait, that
now.
was the wrong Shaq.
Yeah, nah, I've been talking a lot of trash about his Hardee's burger eating self, but
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Speaking on that, so yeah, so he's wearing number 0 now, and they're calling him Agent Zero, which is
Interesting.
the nickname that we gave Calvin Ridley. So I'm like super annoyed by that, but whatever. And then at corner, Christian Braswell made the 53. Early on, he was
Yeah.
injured with some hamstring. It looked like it was going to be Eric Hallett for that spot, right? Like Eric was having a lot of reports of him coming on strong super early in the camp and all that kind of stuff, but he ended up coming back to the practice squad, and Braswell stepped up and won the job. He beat him out. So that's pretty cool to see.
It is.
And then moving on from there, long season ahead, 17 games. A lot of expectations, right? Peter
Yep.
King expecting his team to go freaking, 13-4. A lot of people picking his team to be the AFC 1 seed, right? Best record in the AFC. Huge expectations. I have never seen it. Nobody expected us to be that good in 2017. And we only won, 19 games? So
Yeah.
still not even nothing crazy. But that was, a deep playoff run. But
Yeah.
regular season wise, I don't think anybody expected us to win this many games since 1999.
Yeah,
So
90s for sure.
yeah, for sure. How do you think it's going to shake out?
Okay. So I actually have us going 13-4 as well.
Okay.
And winning the division. and hopefully being the number one AFC seed. So that's probably
Okay.
like way too much expectations, but I think the only reason why I'm doing that is I
Hmm.
think we can beat the Chiefs because
Okay.
it's a home game
Okay.
and it'll be like hot as all get out. And maybe we'll get lucky and Travis Kelsey's still not able to play, which, but my main thing is just it's early in the season. They might not be. I think we can beat the Chiefs because it's early in the season and it's a home game and it's going to be really, really hot. I don't
Okay.
think it's going to be like, I think it's going to be like one of those games where we just go back and forth because
Hmm.
both offenses are very good. So I think that's going to potentially be like a high scoring game and might come down to like whoever has the ball last.
Yeah, I can
But I
see
think
that for
we can
sure.
beat them. Um, I think we will sweep the Texans and the Colts.
Okay.
I, especially the Colts. I'm sorry, there's no excuse not to. We haven't beaten the Colts in Indianapolis in so long,
Yeah.
and that has to change on Sunday. It's got to
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
You cannot lose to the Colts if you want to be like a serious contender. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, for real. For real.
Um, like absolutely not. Um, the losses that I have, I wasn't sure about the Bills. I have the Bills as a loss, but I really think that could go either way because we'll already be in London before they come over. And then sometimes I
Hmm.
feel like I don't know, it comes and goes. Sometimes the team that's been in London longer plays better, and sometimes the team that like just got there plays better. So it kind of like depends. So that could really go either way. But the 49ers is a possible loss. I think we'll lose one of the Titans games just because they always play us really hard. And I don't
Yeah.
know if we'll be able to sweep them this year like we did last year. And I think that the Bengals is a possible loss as well.
Okay. So 13-4. Yeah, for me, um, I have 11-6. Still winning the AFC South. Probably not the 1 seed, right?
Yeah.
Probably more in the 3 seed range. But yeah, I got opening week W. We have to beat the Colts opening week. Like
Oh, yeah.
if we got to
Absolutely.
get it out of the way, let's live up to the expectations. Let's handle the teams that we know we're supposed to. Let's not play down to lower competition. Their
Yeah.
roster is nowhere near better than ours right now. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Home Chiefs game, week 2, W. I think
Yeah.
that's revenge game, honestly. Like I think it's going to be like 2018 where we came back and beat the crap out of those Patriots. I it's going to be like the regular season Super Bowl for us. I think they're going to be amped up. They want to prove that they can beat them guys. Like, yeah, it's going to happen. Yeah.
That's fine. But I don't want it to be like 2018, where I felt like that team only cared about beating New England. Like that
Yeah,
was it.
no,
That was
facts.
the season. They beat New England, and then we were awful after that.
Yeah. Yeah,
What?
next thing you know, it's like
We're
Ramsey's
not doing that
traded.
this time,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. We're not doing that, but we are going to get
Please.
some revenge though. That's what's going to
Yes, I would
happen.
like a revenge game. That would be great.
Yeah.
It'll
And
be really
then
hot too.
yeah, and then right after that, we got the Texans coming home, rookie quarterback, rosters, who knows what, right? I think that's another W. First London game, we got the Falcons, W there. Back to back London games, it's a little hazy for me. Bills
Same.
is a pretty good team. Offense just as powerful as ours. Their defense, I think, is a little bit better. So I got the Bills taking that one. First loss of the season, and then home against the Colts. They don't beat us in Jacksonville, so that's a
They don't.
W. Away game against the Saints, Thursday night game. A lot going on. A lot of wins there. I think we slip and catch an L there. The Saints defense is still pretty good, a little underrated. Alvin Kamara, no suspension, right? They got some things going, right? They got a new quarterback who can manage the game pretty decently. You saw him slinging it last year in the Pro Bowl like he was on a freaking mission. So I think we dropped that one. Steelers game, I'll be there. I'm traveling to Pittsburgh. That's a W. 49ers at home. I think that's a loss. I think that's going to be a tough one to pull out. Brock
Same.
Purdy, I'm not really scared about, but I think that defense is, Trevor's still young. I think that defense is going to be pretty damn good, and their offense can also score. um, with some playmakers. Christian McCaffrey, we saw what he does. That's every time.
Yeah.
Every time we play Christian McCaffrey, he tortures us. It feels like. And then they got other guys like Brandon Ayuk and Debo and stuff. So yeah, they're gonna. I think that's an L. Another Titans game. I think with the first one we win. I think we sweep the Texans. I think we lose to the Bengals. That's another primetime game. I think we just dropped that one. Honestly, I think they're just the better team.
Agree.
Browns away. I think they dropped that one in the dog pound. I really do. Their defense is pretty good. They got some good pass rushers. I mean, Z freaking tore Jawan Taylor up, right? We're gonna have Ricky Anton Harrison potentially out there. They have some legit pass rushers. Miles Garrett, like they're I don't know. I think that's a loss there in
I
Cleveland.
think we got that one.
Yeah, that's one I was kind of 50-50 on, but Deshaun Watson's looking a lot better this season. Their offense got a little bit better with some of the additions. So yeah, I think we dropped that one. I think we beat the Ravens again at home, even though people are predicting them to potentially be the number one team in the AFC with Odell and getting Lamar paid and those, defense, made some additions. Zay Flowers on offense at receiver, a little bit more firepower. Bateman's healthy, so we'll see. But I think we beat them. We beat the Bucks, we beat the Panthers, and lose the last game to the Titans because it won't even matter. We'll rest the starters. So I got 11-6, winning the division pretty good.
Okay. I like it. Yeah, I think it's funny with like the Ravens. I don't know. But it's kind of like the same thing with the Jaguars. Like, do I think we'll be the number one seed? No, because
Right,
until it's been proven otherwise, we just
right.
kind of have to assume it's going to be the Chiefs. Because like that's just been the way it's been. They're like the new Patriots basically, but they annoy me a little less. Um, although their fans are annoying, but the
Yeah,
team irritates me less.
yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Team captain is named today.
Oh yeah,
On
I saw that.
offense, yeah, on offense we got Trevor, we got Brandon Sheriff. On
Mm-hmm.
defense, we have Foye Luakin and
Mm-hmm.
drum roll, Roy Robertson Harris. They have voted to essentially not return Josh Allen as a four-time captain. I mean, this guy's been
Yeah,
a
I don't like that.
captain for 3 years in a row. Ever since his freaking second year in the NFL, he's been a captain here in Jacksonville. So the locker room decided this year they didn't feel that he was a team captain. Interesting. What do you think?
I I really like Josh Allen. He's like my guy. So I was not happy. I was like, what? But I don't know. It's weird because he's been, yeah, it's it's definitely interesting. I don't obviously great for Roy Robertson Harris. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I like him, so that's cool. But yeah.
Yeah, and Dewey,
Um,
special teams captain. Logan Cook got the nod last year. He's also not returning as a captain to the team. So I do
yeah, I
think
don't
the
like
Josh Allen one was interesting, right? I posted on
yeah.
Twitter earlier. Got a lot of engagement, right? A lot of people like, oh, it doesn't mean anything. Like, that's a conspiracy. You guys just love to make headlines out of stuff. It's like, no. Somebody who's legitimately been a defensive captain, a leader of this freaking team, basically since he was drafted, right? Like him and Calais was, really the guys on the D line. Malik Jackson did his thing too back in the day, but you know,
Yeah.
10 sacks rookie year, like Josh Allen was looking like the future blue chipper of this defense. Like he was him. So for them to he's not hurt, right? Normally when you see guys not return as captains, there's some injury things going on back-to-back seasons, right? Coming in the season banged up, but he's been healthy both years, no concerns. Like didn't even cry about his contract, right? We thought he was going to hold out at the beginning of voluntary OTAs, but he ended up reporting, a little bit into that. So it's just, I don't know, it's just weird. Maybe the guys feel like Roy's a better leader.
Yeah. Who knows?
But even Doug last year, when he first got here, he was speaking about how he feels Josh Allen is a blue chip player for this defense. He's one of the top talent guys. He's one of the pieces to the foundation. And now it's starting to look a little murky, to be honest, right? Like
Yeah.
they didn't jump up to give him a big contract this offseason. Instead, they gave contracts to Roy Robinson Harris, team captain, Devon Hamilton, one of the best players on the D line. So they invested in the D line. It's just not a Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. It's weird, right? Like pass rushers don't grow on trees. Good edge players are hard to find. A lot of people think he's like a top 10, run defense edge player. A lot of upside, like up there pressures. He's effective, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's like that big sack guy that, teams are clamoring to. Well, I don't know, because he got a lot of trade interest potentially, right? The year before when he was supposedly on the block, not really on the
Yeah.
trade block, like the Chiefs were potentially offering a first round pick for him, but Jackson decided not to move him. So I don't know. It's weird with Josh Allen. I hope we get this thing figured out soon.
Yeah. Hopefully there's no like, nothing going on behind the scenes there, and it was just that they felt that Roy Robertson Harris was just better suited.
Yeah, and it's weird for me, people saying like, oh, team captains don't mean anything. Yes, it does. Like anybody that's ever played organized sports knows like having that C on your chest, right? Being voted by your peers as the leader. That means a lot, especially the guys that, play football and are super competitive and care about leading other men. So he's raved about being a leader of this defense on openly multiple times. Every freaking interview, you talk about how he's a leader for this defense for the young guys and stuff. So for him to, not have this C on his chest for the first time since he was a rookie, I think
Yeah.
that's definitely going to add some fuel to his fire, to be honest. He may freaking try to kill the quarterback this week, which I'm all about. So
Yeah, as he should.
yeah, which I'm all about. So let's do that. And then yeah, I think for the most part the Jaguars are ready to roll.
Yeah, I think so too.
How do you
They have
feel
no
about the
business.
matchup this week with Colts?
Uh, really good. We have no business losing to them. I don't care that it's at their home and that we haven't
Mm-hmm.
won there in a long time. You have a
Mm-hmm.
rookie quarterback, and was it Anthony Richardson?
Yep.
That's his name. There's no excuse. I'm sorry. There's absolutely no excuse to be losing to a team that you should 100% be beating.
Yeah. No, I
That's how I
agree.
feel about it.
Yeah. Rookie quarterback, right? Let's confuse them. Let's get some exotic looks and packages up. We know Mike Caldwell knows how to do that, right? Coming from the Todd Bowl system that he's used to and that he runs here, the 3-4 system. So I think let's confuse them. Let's play some crazy zone matches and coverages. No
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, right? Their best offensive player.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman and Alec Pierce did kind of torch us in that second game last year with
Yeah.
the first game last year when Shaq Griffin gave up the touchdown to Alec Pearson. He was freaking laying on the ground when they got the go ahead score to win.
I was in England when that happened for my friend's
Okay.
wedding, and we just had to watch that game in like a pub, and and we were like, oh, we're ahead, like the offense got, and then you give up that. You let Matt Ryan do that to you? It was embarrassing.
Yeah. Matt Ryan freaking torched us that second game in Indy. It
Yeah, he
was
did.
bad. He
It was
completed
real
like
bad.
what, over 80% of his passes. Like we couldn't stop Matt Ryan. But the first time he threw what, like 3 interceptions, I believe.
Yeah.
So
It's
crazy.
because it was in Jacksonville. They don't know how
Yeah.
to play once they enter Florida. I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. So yeah, I think Shaquille Leonard potentially not playing as well with a concussion on their defensive side of the ball. So yeah, I'm really not scared of anybody on that team right now. Michael Pittman, I think he had a game last year where he went for like 133 yards against us, but I think the guys are much better. I think Tyson Campbell is going to have some of those games he had last year, the big Devontae Adams first half, right? The Michael Pittman game, like which he
Yeah.
wasn't really following Michael Pittman, but I think between him and now having Darius Williams back outside, we won't really see too many wide receivers just completely cooking us anymore.
Yeah, that's also something I want to see gone with this team is the whole how we would get behind and then have to come back. They need to, the offense, they get the ball, they got to go down the field and immediately score. Like, I don't want any of this. Let's come back from behind and like, no thanks.
Yeah, no cardiac cats this year.
Yeah, please no.
Yeah, I see people saying like they should elect to receive the coin toss and just try to go assert dominance right away. Like uh, accept the coin toss, even if because if you lose, you're gonna get the ball either way. But if you win, just take the ball anyways. Go score, punch them in the mouth early, and then just force them to play from behind from the start, and then
Exactly.
just take the game away from them ASAP. Okay. Well, that'll do it, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in for another episode of the Tail Corner Podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. It's free to support. Thank y'all. See you next time.
Thank you.